So here's the big question. How are entrepreneurs like us, who have been hustling and struggling to make it to success, who seem to make it one step forward only to fall two steps back, who are dedicated, determined, and driven, how do we finally break through and win? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Brian Kelly, and this is the Mind, Body, Business Show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mind, Body, Business Show. Yes, indeed, we are back, and I am so excited. Tonight's guest, you are going to love her. Her name is Didi Wong, and I will be bringing her on, I promise. The Mind, Body, Business Show. What is it all about? Real briefly, it is about what I call the 3 pillars of success. And about 10 years ago, a little longer than that, I started studying only successful people because I was so enamored and so curious. What the heck makes them more successful than me at the time? It's like, what is it they're doing? And time after time, and these are people I knew personally. These are people I worked with, mentors of mine. These are authors of books, some of whom I met, some of whom are no longer with us. And I just kept looking at all the traits that made them successful. And those 3 things kept bubbling to the top. And you might have an idea what those 3 might be. Yes, it's part of the title of this very show, the Mind, Body, Business Show. Mind is all about mindset. To a person, each and every one of these very successful people had a very powerful and, more importantly, flexible mindset. Body was literally that they all took care of themselves physically, nutritionally. That's simple. And then business is multifaceted. There are so many skill sets that one must master in order to build and then grow a thriving business. These are skill sets like marketing, sales, team building, systematizing, leadership, and I could go on and on and on and on. The good news for you is you don't need to master every skill set that is in that list and more in order to build a thriving business. You don't have to build it yourself. Those skill sets. The good news is if you were to just master only one of those, there's one magic one. And in fact, I mentioned it in that list. I wonder if anyone could guess which one it is. Oh, wait, I'm kidding. It is the skill set of leadership. When you've mastered the skill set of leadership, then you now have the ability to delegate to those who have the skill sets, who have mastered the skill sets that you have yet to do. Because let's face it, to master anything takes a long time. And being just one person, it may take more than a lifetime to master every single one. So now is the time, if you're not thinking about it, to always think about delegating and utilizing a team from day one. Because if you don't, you might just burn out. Many of us have already been there, done that, learned the lesson the hard way. That is the Mind, Body, Business Show. And another wonderful trait of very successful people is, to a person, they are also very voracious readers. And with that, I'd like to segue very briefly into a segment I like to call Bookmarks.
Bookmarks. Born to read. Bookmarks. Ready, steady, read. Bookmarks. Brought to you by reachyourpeaklibrary.com.
And yes, Didi Wong is here. She's waiting in the wings. She's coming on. She's like biting her nails saying, let me in, let me in. No, I'm kidding. She's not biting her nails, but she is very eager to come on, and she's coming on very soon. Real quick, reachyourpeaklibrary.com. This is a website I had built with you in mind, literally. And why I did that was because I myself was not a voracious reader until about the age of 47. I'm 56 at the time of this show. And then I realized, oh my goodness, it's a gold mine. And it changed my life profoundly in many ways, both in business and my personal life. And so what I did was I started compiling all of the books that had that kind of impact on me personally. And so now these are books that have been vetted by at least one other successful person. So when you go to look at a quote unquote library, at least the odds are greater that you'll, if you grab a book from this library, that you'll find one that will have a similar impact or even greater on you as it did me. And this is not here to make money, just to be clear. Yes, there's a tiny affiliate. You know how it works with Amazon. So all of these buttons go straight to Amazon. I don't even know what I would make on it. I honestly don't even look. It's probably 30 cents, maybe $1. I have no idea. You don't pay any more, but I just do that out of discipline. No matter what a product is, I always attach affiliate link to it, no matter what it is, if I'm promoting it. It's just how I roll, and that's how I teach my students to roll as well. But it's not about money. This site is for you. And in that light, I wanted to also point out one more really important thing before we bring on Didi, and that is reachyourpeaklibrary.com. This is one of those examples where you want to just write it down on a piece of paper or on a notepad on your computer, whatever you have available, rather than and instead of clicking away and typing and looking. Because let me tell you something. When Didi comes on, she's going to be dropping some big, massive wisdom bombs and bombs of knowledge. They're just going to come flying out of the sky, and you do not want to miss them. If you're writing, or if you are off looking at another website, typing it in, scrolling up and down, not watching as Didi is dropping these nuggets and these bombs, you could very well miss the one thing that could have changed your life for the better forever. And I'm not kidding about this, because I've seen it happen. I've spoken from stage. I did it for years. I was a lead trainer for a mentor of mine. And I know I'm getting to the part that is the life-changing part. And I'd see somebody get up out of their chair and walk out of the room. And that was to go to the bathroom or whatever they had to do. And I just felt so bad for them. So this is for you, not for me. So take out a notepad. In fact, I never ask folks to do what I don't myself do. I have a notepad. I will be taking notes. I'm the director, the producer, the talent, if you want to call it that. And I take notes. So go ahead and grab something real quick, because you know what time it is? It's time for Didi Wong. Here we go.
It's time for the Guest Expert Spotlight. Savvy, skillful, professional, adept, trained, big league, qualified.
And there she is, ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Didi Wong. Yes.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Brian.
Hello, Didi. Oh, this is going to be so much fun. You are such a breath of fresh air. You are so fun to talk to before we got going on this show. Before we get any deeper, Didi, I need to do a little housekeeping, I like to call it, and mention a few of our sponsors. One of them is right above your head there, Didi, up above, I think, to your left. And yep, to the viewers, right? And that is the Big Insider Secrets, that nice red logo. Here's the thing. If you stay with us live until the end of the show, you can win a 5-night stay at a 5-star luxury resort, compliments of my pal Jason Nast and the BigInsiderSecrets.com. We get to give away one of these every single show. What a gift. What
I
a
love
gift.
that.
So, yeah, so do I. So thank you so much, Jason, and the BigInsiderSecrets.com. And wait, there's more. There's more. If you're struggling with putting a live show together and it's overwhelming and you just want, let's say, a lot of the process is done for you, how many of you would like that? While still enabling you to put on a high-quality show and connect with great people like Didi Wong and grow your business all at the same time, then head on over to carpetbombmarketing.com. Carpet Bomb Marketing, saturate the marketplace with your message. And one of the key components that is contained in the Carpet Bomb Marketing courses, this is one that you'll learn how to absolutely master, is the very service we use to stream our live shows right here on the Mind Body Business Show. Now, over the course of the past 9+ years, we have tried many of these quote unquote TV studio solutions for live streaming. And I'll tell you right now, StreamYard is the best of the best. It combines supreme ease of use along with unmatched functionality. It does everything. So start streaming high quality, professional looking live shows for free with StreamYard. Write this down and visit it later. Visit this website. It's ryp.im/stream live. That is enough of that. It is time for the one, the only, Didi Wong. She is here. She is present. And now, soon, she's going to get to talk. Isn't that novel concept? Because first, out of respect, I need to introduce her. Yeah, give her it's what she deserves, is a proper introduction. And so that's what we're going to do. And then, Didi, it's going to be your show from there. I'm not going to say another word. I'm kidding. Well, I might say a little bit. All right. Born in Hong Kong. I'm already interested. Raised in England. Are you kidding me? And now residing in Los Angeles. She's traveled more than I have. Didi Wong is an award-winning international keynote speaker, executive TV producer. I mean, listen to this. Speaking coach, business mentor, best-selling author, angel investor, and here's the most incredible part. She's a mother of 4, all under the age of 10, including an identical set of twin girls. Wow. I don't know how any human could do all of that at the same time. Her company, which is called the Yes Academy, is a results-driven educational mentorship program for entrepreneurs. That's why she's here. She has received numerous awards and recognitions all over the world, but the one she is most excited about in the coming months is when she will be knighted Lady Didi, where she will join the Royal Order of Constantine the Great and St. Helen of Spain to further the royal initiatives, both domestically and internationally. Goodness sake, that's impressive.
Thank you, Brian.
I don't know if we have anything else to talk about. That was like, wow.
That's it. Okay, bye.
Very, very impressive, Didi. And congratulations to you. You've put in the time and effort. So well deserved. The accolades, the rewards, the awards, the upcoming, what is it? The knighting? Yes, my gosh. That's just phenomenal. And I love it. I love to get to, introduce folks like you, such incredible, amazing people, by the bio, and they get an idea of what you've accomplished and, what level you're at, which is pretty high. And then what I like to do is I like to dig a little deeper because there's something that got you there. Yes. There's something that got you there, and there's something that got you there that other people are still struggling. They haven't figured it out. And where it all comes is that wonderful, beautiful brain of yours, Didi. And what I like to do is kind of peel back the onion, so to speak. I'm not talking about your brain. Okay, just to be clear. And I wanted to find out, like, when you get up in the morning, because being an entrepreneur, let's face it, it's not always easy, is it? It can be a grind. There's always a challenge. So it takes a very specialized kind of mindset. And for you, when you get up in the morning, what is it that motivates you? What is that thing that you think about that no matter what's going on in the day coming ahead, even if something arduous is about to take place that you have to take care of, what do you do in your mindset, in your mind? What are you thinking when you get up to start each and every day so you can crush it over and over and over again?
In one word, just gratitude. I always wake up with a smile. I talk about smiling a lot in anything that you watch of mine. I talk about smiling, and it's not just smiling when you're talking to someone, but actually starting off with a smile for yourself. I talk about being your own best friend a lot, and I truly am very comfortable in my own skin. So wherever I go, there I am, and I am happy to be with me. And I'm treating myself as my own best friend. And so every day when I wake up, my mindset is positive. My mindset is, I'm going to do something extraordinary today, no matter if it's just showing up to my yoga class, speaking nicer to my children, or giving an extra kiss to my husband, whatever it is, I think about just giving goodness. I talk about transferring gold dust every single day. So that's my mindset every single morning. I wake up really happy. I really do.
I've never heard that. Transferring gold dust. Is that what you just said?
Yeah, transferring gold dust.
If that is not a smart bomb moment, I don't know what is.
I hope to get all of this throughout the whole hour with you.
Oh, I can tell. I think you will. And, it's only $30 per bombing, but it'll be okay. No, I'm kidding. That's actually a good idea, huh? I could charge. No, I won't.
That's right.
I'm getting ridiculous already.
And then you can have your guests compete. How many bombs did you get? I got 15. Did you get 17?
That's actually not a bad idea, Didi. I like that. Yeah,
Giving you ideas.
I'll cut you in on a percentage. We'll make a deal. So one of the things I talked about on the opening, there were several: mind, body, and business. And then one of those was about reading. And I'm just curious. I see books stacked behind you, so I'm going to guess that you do read and enjoy it. What would you say is, and let's say it's a business book. It doesn't have to be a business book. Forget that, because business is about relationships. So it could be something else. It could be mindset or anything else. But what book has inspired you the most up till now?
Like you, Brian, I heard you say you didn't really start reading till a later stage. For me, it was after I had my 4 children when I really pressed on the gas to be a real entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur, when I decided that I need to read more books. And my favorite book is one of the ones that you have there. I have 2 actually. One is the Think and Grow Rich book by Napoleon Hill. You talked about how you really wanted to start talking to a lot of successful people. That's what Napoleon Hill started doing, right? So that one has made a major difference in my life. I was on the Think and Grow Rich World Legacy Tour actually in 2019, which allowed me to step on stage, big stages all around the country, to decide which success principle I was allowed to talk about. So success principle number 7, decision, is my favorite one. So that book has been made a huge difference in my life. I refer to it all the time when I have my clients, when I speak on podcasts or any TV shows. The other one, if I'm allowed to also tell your audience, is One Thing. One Thing by Gary Keller, because I'm a Gemini. I am somebody who loves variety, right? So when I first started being an entrepreneur, I decided, what is it that I really wanted to do? I couldn't decide because I'm so good at so many things. But more and more with branding and understanding how I should really be known in the world, I had to really decide and evolve as an entrepreneur. I started off being a life coach, relationship expert, then I went into business and being a pitch queen because I was on a TV show. Then I'm like, is that really what I want to do? Then I went into really helping people build businesses like startups. And I'm like, is that really what I want to do? And then I keep evolving. And right now, I'm really known for just really helping people with speaking. Like, how do you convey a message in a very short amount of time and string vocabulary words together to form a beautiful sentence that will actually leave a lasting impression in people's minds? And at the end of the day, here's the big nugget, write that down, since Brian told you to have some notebooks out. It's really not always about your words. It's about how you make people feel. So if you're watching this right now and in a month's time, you remember, that Asian girl, I remember seeing, I don't remember her name. I remember I don't remember what she said, but I just remembered she was just so happy and bubbly. And I really enjoyed watching her. And that's the feeling that you want to leave people, transferring gold dust, right? You're adding to people's lives. No matter what you're saying, it doesn't matter. It's how you made them feel at the end of the conversation so that they would want to have another conversation with you. So that's really my message right now as a speaking coach and a business mentor.
I'm telling you, you hit the nail on the head, Didi. It's not always just about the words. It's about how you make them feel. And that, if anything, was not a bomb dropping moment. I don't know what it is.
Number 2.
I mean, genius. And that's true because, people buy. If you were talking about a transaction, let's say you're selling from stage, you're selling on the phone, it doesn't matter where you are. If they aren't emotional, they're not going to buy. And if they're not in the emotion that drives them toward buying, they won't buy. So if you want somebody to be happy and excited, then get them in that state emotionally. Do it with authenticity, like Didi would do, and character and everything like that. And then just, future pace them, allow them to see what their future could be once they work with you, show them how others have succeeded, do all the right things about it. But the key, you said it, that is the key. It's emotion. We are emotional beings. People think of business, they think it's ones and zeros, corporate, dollars, money, cha-ching. It's really relationship building, and it's humans interacting. And how do you interact at the best, at the peak level with another human? She just hit it on the head. I mean, thank you for bringing that up, because I hope people wrote that down. I'm running the show. I wrote it down.
Oh,
It's on the
that's
bottom.
great. I love it.
I
To
actually have to
piggyback
turn
on
the
that,
page. I'm out of
Brian,
space.
just to delve deeper into, because I just love talking about this so much. You also brought up, the emotion, right? Treat people as humans. So what I talk about is when you meet someone new, don't just treat them as their title, right? Yes, you heard I was an international award-winning speaker, I'm a best-selling author, angel investor, blah, blah, blah. All of those accolades are good for business, for introduction. But once you get into the actual conversation, treat people as humans. Like, treat people as treat me as a woman, right? Treat you as a mother or a father or a son, treat you as a human first and talk about things outside of the business. And that dreaded question will always come. Oh, so what do you do, Didi? That's always going to come. And that when that question comes, that's when you can really open up and start talking about business. But at the very beginning, especially the 7 to 30 seconds of your beginning of the conversation, that's when people are forming that judgment on you. And so, and in that time, and that's why I teach my elevator pitch course, in that 30 seconds before it ends, the 31st second, you better have made an impression that you are authentic, you are real, you're fun, you're somebody that people want to talk to before you go into that boring business stuff or talk about money or talk about what you offer, right?
That is so vitally important. I totally agree with everything you said there, because I remember the old me when, if you guys can remember being at actual events, seminars and things where there are other people, and
yes,
you are interacting with those folks, and you're back in the day when I first started doing that, I didn't know how to talk to anybody. It was horrible, and we were handing out business cards, and it's just, I learned so much over the years on how to properly introduce oneself and make it about them first and then you second. I don't know if that's the way you teach, Didi, but people don't want to hear about you. They want to hear about themselves. And as much as you want to talk about yourself, you'll get a chance if they see the value and they want to interact with you. But it's so key, communication. So, okay, look, we're talking, there's two keys already. We've hit two. If anybody comments on what those two are, I will grant you a complimentary vacation stay, 5-day. You've won it, and we'll still give away another one. How's that?
Wow,
I know what one of them is.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I'm going to write them down so I don't forget. And I'm sure there's more. And when the third one comes out, we're going to have another big bomb blast. You can better believe it. So, communication is key. And Didi, would you agree that it's not just verbal communication? Would you also say written communication is also important, the skill?
Body language. 93% of how you communicate comes from your body language and facial expressions. That's included. And I would like to say this is a Didiism and energy. So in any body language books, or if you Google body language, they will say 93% is body. But if you actually cut it down, it's facial expression. So like you're hearing me right now, yes, you see my body, you see my hands doing gestures and stuff like that. But actually you're seeing my eyes open up, right? And you're seeing my mouth smile in a certain way. And my eyebrows, all of that comes into play when people are checking you out when you're speaking. And they don't even know it. That's the thing. It's a normal human perception. And on top of that, I add on the energy. So body language is your arms, your body, you're bending your knees, maybe your shoulders, like going up and down, whatever. And then you have your facial expression, which is like I just said. But the energy. Now, the energy part is the part where people don't even realize how they kind of exude negativity, or that they just tell people who they are without even saying a word. And I always say, your vibe attracts your tribe. So when you actually meet someone like Brian and I just met, and it was an instant, like we knew we were going to have a good time, because your vibe attracts your tribe. You are going to vibe and frequency that will attract someone who vibes the same frequency. So when you find someone who is vibing low and you're vibing high, then that might be a waste of time to actually get into a conversation. And I'm not saying this in a nasty way, because when you go into a room of networking, there are times when you just know someone is yapping away and you're not tuning in, and your ears just somehow does not want to be actively listening, right? And you just looking around hoping for something to happen so you can move on. And I teach this in my pitch class. I say, just politely move away. Like, you actually should be real about it, be authentic about it. If you really cannot tell someone, hey, I want to move away, then hey, I need to run to the bathroom, or I need to go get a drink or something, right? But I actually think that networking is a skill set that, networking, being able to move around the room, find the people who are vibing at your frequency, that's when you really get something out of when you show up to an event. And I've done that so much in my lifetime as an entrepreneur, and you build your relationship capital, because that's the gold mine of every single business. Your relationship capital. That should be a bomb right there, right now. Your relationship capital makes much more sense than the financial capital, because if you know the right people, they can take you to so many more goals that you want to achieve than just having money. Because if you have money and you don't know the right people, you don't know how to use it. Yes?
Yes. I mean,
I can see
I had my finger on the
this.
button. So relationship capital, you said, huh? Interesting. Yeah. Bombs of wisdom are flying tonight. Didi Wong is bringing everything, and she's absolutely right in all of this. Relationship capital. I love that term. And energy. That is one thing that's often not discussed when it comes to communication. Thank you for bringing that to the forefront, because everything you just said, I could relate with. You know that's a person you either want to be hanging with or you just don't. You want to get the heck out. And
that's right.
I've been there many times and never knew the right way. I would just thank the Lord if a friend of mine would come up and actually interrupt us. Like, oh,
exactly.
I have a tough time being rude. I don't know why, but I just can't do it. It's not in my blood, but boy, there are times where I just sit there. Oh, please, I got to get out of here. So perfect. And then, but the opposite is true. And think about that. One person could say all the right words and have even facial expressions to go with it. But if they're doing it haphazardly, and you can tell, it's kind of like, Didi, I always say this, it's kind of like a dog that can sense fear.
Yes.
It's a human that can sense inauthenticity when you're trying to act like you're happy or energetic, and you're not. You're just going through the motions.
Right.
If you're not energetic, figure out a way to get so. Go run around the corner and do some jumping jacks, literally. Do some physical activity that'll jack up energy fast, no matter how tired you are. But these are phenomenal tips. And this is Didi, who is all about communication. The other thing I love, if we can go back a second on it, Didi, was you were talking about how you've evolved, which I think is key for people to hear and learn, is that we've all been through there. A lot of people will shame other entrepreneurs and call that the shiny object syndrome, right? Oh, I'm going to chase this new one. I'm going to chase this new one. No, in this case, it's I'm doing one thing and I'm learning, hey, you know what? This other thing is I like that more, and I'm more passionate about it, and I have more core competency in that area. And then even then, there may be another one. I've been through it too. And that's why I can relate to that one as well. I used to be in the fitness industry, and now I do automation. I'm a software, and I love automation more than I love fitness. I didn't even know it until, a couple years ago. So I pivoted my whole business. And so,
as humans, we all have so many different skills. And like I said, I have a variety of things I'm really good at. So actually, it was not really chasing the shiny object. It's really more fulfilling my own soul, that I can be a life coach. I can be a relationship expert. I can be a host on a TV show if I wanted to be. I can be so many things. And who's to say you can't try them all, right? It's up to you to control what you want to do. And right now, I've had so many people tell me, Didi, you have to have a podcast. You have to have a podcast. Your personality is so great. You'd be such a great host. But in my heart, that is not ringing true to me. And so I rather be a guest and I come on the shows and, so if it's not ringing true to you, but even though somebody keeps influencing you and talking your ear out, and same with my book, I actually don't have a solo book. Everyone keeps saying, Didi, you have achieved so much. You need to have a book. You need to have a book. I don't think I need to have a book right now. I may be down 3 years down, and it's up to you to decide what is true to you, and that's my evolution. I really have been authentic to my own journey, because it's not always about serving. You got to serve yourself first before you serve others, because you have to be happy with what you're doing. If you're not happy with what you're doing, then people will sense that. If I were doing relationship expert and life coaching right now, I know I'm good at it, but it's not something that I love to do every single day anymore, right? So I have to feed my own soul. That's another thing that, I think people are afraid to do, and really listen to your own heart. Then you'll be happy. And if you're happy, then everyone around you can be happy.
Yeah, and it's so spot on. A quick story. I had a really good friend. His name is Roz Slaughter. He's been on my show twice now. He was on not too long ago. And this was back when he was big in the fitness business, full-time, 3 boutique studios, 1 in New York, 2 in Florida, before COVID hit. But at that time, we had a chat. He just called me. He said, I just want to talk to you. So we did. We shared the stage at one point. He's a phenomenal speaker. And
Amazing.
he had this personal chat with me. It was so wonderful. And we were talking about the whole world of fitness, because at that time I was in fitness as well. And then he says, tell me, what else are you doing? And I said, well, I'm doing all this stuff in this automation, blah, blah, blah. And this is what the greatest thing that came out of it, Didi, was he's a good friend. And he hit it right between my eyes. He says, Brian, when you talk about fitness, and we're just on the phone, not even Zoom, he goes, I don't feel it. But when you talk about automation, I feel the passion. I said, wow, Ross, thank you so much. That is incredible feedback. And
yes,
it took him saying that for me to realize it's right. 3 other people said similar things within a 30-day span. And I decided to stop and completely get away from fitness. In 2 days after that decision, I completely eliminated my website with all the workout videos I had personally recorded, spent hours and years, 7 years of this. And I did not feel 1 ounce of regret. I felt happy and free. So what you're saying is absolutely
there you
spot
go.
on. Oh, Tim Gillette, how you doing? He's coming on. Tim's got a great podcast of his own. Look him up on Facebook. Search Tim Gillette.
Hi,
look
Tim.
for that picture. Amazing guy. We met probably 9-10 years ago, maybe longer. Really great guy, entrepreneur. And 3D Die Local. 3D. I should know what this is. This sounds familiar. Said cool. If you're still out there, remind me your name. I feel bad because I know who this is, but I can't remember your name.
I love your story illustrating of my point, because most people, they're on autopilot. They're on just every day, wake up a certain time, brush their teeth, put their suits on or put their clothes on, and then they go out, drive a commute. Blah, blah, blah. It's the same old thing every day. But have you stopped and actually asked yourself, are you enjoying your life every day? Are you enjoying doing that routine every day? And if you say yes, then amazing. That's so great. But if you have an inkling of like, I'm not quite fulfilling my soul, am I really walking my purpose? Even if you have to ask that question, then you're absolutely not doing what you want to do. And really, COVID has been such a blessing in disguise for actually a lot of people. Even though they might have lost their business, but you know what? In the closing of the door, you open another door, like Sharon Lecter says. She always talks about how, one door closes, another door will open. And believe in the journey of life. You don't even have to believe in God, but believe in the universe that it will guide you. If you will it to guide you, like manifest it. I talk about manifestation all the time. And if you can, please listen to this podcast, the podcast TV show, and live streaming, all the audience that you have, Brian. I really want you to get this. And I hope that I'm not just one of these guests that you're like, oh, she was cool. I want to really get into your ears and into your eyes and say, stop for a moment and think about your life. Stop for a moment and really think about your routine. Are you walking, spending time with the people you want just because of money, or is it because of really fulfilling your soul? You will live a much happier life if you do something that you love to do, and that will help other people, because we are all on this earth actually to help other people. And the side bonus is cash flow. So the Yes Academy, like confidence, connections, and cash flow will just come. And I really like to preach this. I'm sorry, I'm like getting in passionate about this, but I really love talking about really making people wake up and smell the coffee and like, what are you doing with your life? I wanted to shake you. Are you happy? Are you happy? Go out and live a happier life.
These
So
are
I'm
absolute
passionate, Brian.
bombs of wisdom. Yeah. Preach it. Love it.
Oh my
Fantastic.
goodness.
Yes. Does anybody that's watching or listening, can they feel her passion? I can. And it's obvious, and I love it. It's been elevating and getting stronger as the show goes on, and that tells you she loves what she gets to do. And she's right. You know, there's a constant tug back and forth. It's a tug of war in your mind. Well, I'm not really satisfied or fulfilled with what I do, but it is paying my bills. So, you know, then there's that fear factor of making that transition switch. Yeah, Dennis Nurmela, coming all the way from China, says, do what you love. A good friend, moved to China. He teaches there. He teaches the English language. I think he's still doing that. So thanks for coming on, Dennis. I can't imagine what time it is there right now. Thank you for that. Yeah. Yeah, and there's somebody, a great example. He followed his passion. He moved to China. I mean, he just up and moved from the United States and moved over there. Thankfully, he spoke the language enough to where he could interact with kids over there. But, you know, he's teaching them the English language. And he's made a ton of friends. You just follow him. And look at that. I want to give him a shout out. Follow him. It's Dennis with one N. That way you'll know you got the right guy, Dennis Nurmela. So go out on Facebook and just watch his life unfold before you in China. It's really neat to see it from a different vantage point. You know, we're all here in the United States. There he is. I teach public speaking and English. Yes.
Oh, wonderful. That's great.
He is an amazing entrepreneur in his own right. He's founded and started many businesses. He's multi-talented as well. And that's a good point you brought up.
We need to connect, Dennis.
Yeah, definitely. There's a really good point you brought up about having multiple talents. We all have multiple talents. Yes. Every human being does. It's up to you to figure out which of those talents you want to hone and craft into your passion.
Right.
And there's, I just saw another comment. I know very little Chinese. That's good. And he's making it work. So you don't need all the resources on the planet to become successful. You just need to have the drive and the passion, and the resources will find you, and you will find them, and you'll get it done. Will it be a struggle? Will it be will it be fear? Will it be trepidation in the beginning? Most likely. That's just your subconscious telling you you're doing the right thing.
Because you're challenging yourself. That's another part. You shouldn't be so comfortable all the time. The more you challenge yourself, the more you grow. And otherwise, you're going to be bored. You know, the mundane stuff. You know, try to challenge yourself, no matter if it's, you know, playing a different game or playing a new instrument or speaking another language or traveling to another world and learning about other people's cultures. Getting on a different show with a different person and learning about them, you know, all of that. I mean, I've done so many podcasts and shows. Like the Mind Body Business show that Brian's putting on taught me something today as well. So I'm always looking to educate myself. So education it's so fun. It should be fun, right?
Yeah, and I can tell it is with you, and I think everyone else can too, and that's a great, great thing. And you just hit another nail on the head, because I host a show, and I am 100% positive I get the most out of doing this than anybody on the planet because of the people I have, like you. Relationship capital. I've never heard that before. Maybe it's been said before. I just had never heard it before. And there are things that certain guests have said, certain routines they go through, certain tools or techniques or strategies. I've implemented several of them, and I've seen my business improve drastically as a result. This show itself, not I mean, the show costs nothing, so I'm not really pitching. It is your time. But just if you just watch the shows, they're all available on the mindbodybusinessshow.com. Every one of them is there, and you can watch them. And it's like being in a seminar and not paying a dime for it. And you're going to learn
amazing,
incredible. It does. Look, everyone thinks it takes some magic wand of I have to know something that I've never heard of before. It's not. It's a lot simpler. And Didi has pretty much laid out the entire strategy to your success on this show. There are now 3 components.
Sometimes it takes a different person to say the same idea for it to suddenly, bingo in your head or light bulb in your head. And that's why I think the power of listening to different speakers come in, because you can listen. Of course, a lot of things that speakers talk about, it's very common sense, or it's you hear a lot of entrepreneurs talk about positive mindset. But when you hear it from Didi Wong or you hear it from Brian Kelly, it rings differently. And that's why it's very important for you to choose the right podcast to consume. I talk about whatever you consume. You talk about mind, body. Body is nutrition, what you do to your body. You're consuming, right? Whatever you're doing, you're eating. But whatever you're listening to is really important too. People don't actually think about, when I say consume, you probably think, oh, what I eat. But no, it's consume what you listen to. And nowadays, more and more, we're so lucky because we live in a day and age where there's so much live streaming, there's so many podcasts, there's so many like radio, TV shows, all of that gives you so much information. But you also have to be picky as to whom you listen to, because then you listen to people who are either negative or they swear a lot, or they don't have a very good picture of life. You start to become that. You get influenced without even knowing. It's a subconscious. It's part of the thinking grow-rich, the subconscious mind, right? So make sure your consumption of whatever you're consuming, either food, drinking, or listening to, you are picky with what you put that in your body.
I don't know. I think she's dropping more bombs than anyone ever in history. Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Look out. Here it comes. So we have 3 key areas. And so those that did not answer those 2 questions, it's now too late because I'm going to reveal them. There came a comment. Let's see if someone had it. Oh, we got another one. So Dennis Numella said, yeah, roller coasters are no fun without ups and downs. So true.
That's right.
If you were always successful all the time, you wouldn't know any different. Then it wouldn't be gratifying unless you had the bumps in the road or the dips in the coaster. Yeah.
Love
that. All right. This is a long one, but Don is a good friend, local gentleman who is a Chamber of Commerce, runs our Chamber of Commerce here locally. He says, one of these days when I grow up, I am going to figure out, he's funny, what I like to do. Although I'm having a lot of fun engaging with our wonderful consumers here in the Antelope Valley, talking about supporting our small businesses and economy. Yeah. Nice. And it doesn't matter where you are and in your life or in your walk with your entrepreneurial career, you're always going to be, that's what makes us entrepreneurs. I think we're always looking for that next, how do I improve? How do I take it to another level? And that might be pivoting to something entirely different. But just be open to it. And if you're someone like Don, who's very, very experienced, it won't be as hard for people like him than it will for those just starting out. But you got to get going. You got to do it. That's the only way to do it, right? Take action. Take it. Same old thing every day. So don't confuse what Didi was saying about that with a success routine that a lot of entrepreneurs, they each have their own routine. I personally am not a routine guy. I tried it. I can't do it. I like variety. I'm like Didi. We were talking about this before the show. When you said that, I was like, oh, phew, because a lot of people love routine. It keeps them going. It keeps them disciplined. I do things, not the same exact thing every day, but I kind of cycle different things every day.
Yes.
I don't go crazy different every day, but I don't do the same exact thing each sequential subsequent day. I will mix it up because, got to have variety. I do.
Me too.
Do what works for you is the bottom line.
Exactly.
And so a routine like get up in the morning. I know one I started doing was go out and get in the grass barefoot and do jumping jacks with the sun on me. I'm in California, so we can do that more often. And then also come back in and drink water with lime, like natural lime juice, and a pinch of Himalayan sea salt. Oh, people go, salt? You're a fitness guy. Yeah, there's a lot of misnomers about the blood pressure myth. But anyway, there were certain things I attempted. I listened to other people doing them, and then I thought, I'm going to try that. And I've done that. And so that's what I encourage you to do if you don't have a routine, is model other people that have routines. Go back and look at almost every show I have. People have routines, and see what works for you, and then go with that. That's it. It's simple. You don't have to make this too difficult.
Yeah.
Sweet. Didi, I want to find out now that people understand what an amazing person you are and that you're a communication expert. What exactly is your target market? Who do you help? And how do people get in touch with you? And then how does it go from there? What's their way of introducing themselves to you? And what do you do for them, if you don't mind?
Yes. So I love helping anybody who considers themselves an expert, or that you are an author, or you want to be an author, or you want to be a speaker. So I have a show on Amazon Prime Video, season 4 right now. I'm actually casting this time, and I'm looking for speakers to be on the show. And it's a very, very high quality show, and I curate 12 speakers per season to come in, but I teach you literally how to perform, to speak, how to, I told you earlier, the networking, how to make an impression in the first 7 to 30 seconds. So I will help you with your elevator pitch. I will help you to really understand volume, pace, pauses, how to choose the right vocabulary, how do you use the really put in the energy to deliver your speech. So I really am a speech expert. I can help you write your speech as well. I've been told I'm a really great speech writer. But generally speaking, I have a program called Become a Speaker in 60 Days, which is an accelerated way of becoming a professional speaker. And then I put you on the platform of the Amazon Prime Video. And then the other thing is I really help people with their businesses. How do you actually run a speaking business? Because people, a lot of speaking coach, right? Like I do, we teach techniques, we teach how to deliver, but a lot of speaking coaches actually don't teach the business of speaking. How do you actually monetize as a speaker? So I teach that as well. So yeah, my demographic that come my way are generally experts, authors, people who want to be speakers or want to be better speakers, who want to be better business owners, and finding investors too, because I'm an avid angel investor. So I come across a lot of people who have ideas, who don't know how to start their business, don't even know what entity they should be registering, that kind of people. I want you to get out of that paycheck to paycheck job, basically, and monetize and be able to have your freedom. One of the questions I get asked a lot is, what defines success, right? For me is, if you can be your own boss and you never have to ask for permission to go on vacation or do whatever you want with whomever you want, whenever you want, that is my ultimate reason for being an entrepreneur. I love my time freedom so much. More than anything, if I want to be on Brian Kelly's show, I can be on Brian at 5:30 in the evening. If I want to be with my children and do nothing and just suddenly go to Disneyland, I can do that because I have passive income coming in. So I teach people how to start thinking about investing and be open-minded about creating passive income paths for yourself. So a lot there, but yeah, that's what I do. I love helping people win.
Fantastic. And then, so for that speaker program that you have going on Amazon Prime and the seasons, how do people reach out to you? What's the process for someone getting to you? I'm sure they have to meet certain qualifications for you to bring them on and be one of your 12
You have to apply,
speakers?
and simple, just didiwong.com. You can email me at didi@didiwong.com. I don't run a company that has a ton of people who you can't get through before you get to me. I'm very personable that way. I actually believe in being able to be approached quite easily. You can find me didi@didiwong.com. So if you want to apply to be on the show, just email me, or you can always follow me on Instagram at Didi Wong Official. So yeah, easy peasy. Just find me at Didi Wong. Pretty much Google my name, you'll find a ton of stuff.
Very cool. And so above and beyond the 12 speakers that you're looking forward to, it sounds like it's like a real-time case study that you're doing with them, watching them transform from where they are today to where they will be in 60 days, if I have that correct.
Yes. It's an 8-week course with a showcase. So, you can repurpose your showcase speech. And I teach you about PR, about marketing, about how do you monetize as a speaker, body language, delivery, storytelling, and your message, your branding. All of that comes into play when you want to become a much more well-known and above average speaker. I want to really train people to be advanced speakers. And by the way, one thing, this is a nugget. This is another takeaway. Probably last bomb. When you find a mentor to follow, anybody that you want to hire as a coach or as a mentor, right? Don't just hire them for their knowledge, because you can really nowadays find a lot of all this on the internet. But find someone who actually has a network, who actually has resources, who actually is walking the walk and talking the talk, and out there doing what they're preaching, doing what they're teaching. Because if you're finding someone who's just teaching, that's what they do, that's all they do, and they're not doing themselves, that they're not current, right? So I definitely am proud of myself as a coach, and I do have healthy confidence in saying that when I teach my clients and people to become speakers or I actually have all the platforms where I refer you to speak in this summit, in that summit. So I actually, after you take the course, it's not like, bye-bye, that's it. You go about your way. You are now in my network, and you're now somebody that I would put in my forefront of my mind and refer out to. So you can ask any of the people who have taken my courses. I always reach out to them and say, hey, so-and-so is looking for a new, like yesterday, someone was looking for somebody who's in neuroscience, and I knew exactly who to refer. So, I am walking the walk, talking the talk. I'm out there constantly investing. I've been investing in 9 companies in the last 6 months. I really am out there, always improving myself. I have mentors. I take courses as well, so that I'm in touch with what's going on. And that's the kind of mentor you want. And especially when you click with their philosophy and what they're saying, their energy. It's like finding a relationship, right? You're going to be spending a lot of time with your mentor, so make sure you like them. And that they care about you.
Absolutely. Bombs of wisdom, I must say.
Thank you.
My goodness. So there were 3 primary areas for those of you that may have just joined us or maybe weren't paying attention. Hopefully you were paying attention the whole way. But what we've been talking about, what Didi has brought up, and these are things that I've summarized into 3 key points that I found that she has spoken about tonight that I find to be the 3 keys to success. And that is, number 1 is about evoking emotion from someone, eliciting emotion. And that it's not so much about your words, but it's more about your emotions. I should say, and it's more about your emotions. They both go together. And then along with that, the second key to success is really understanding and really mastering communication. And that takes on many different flavors. So it can be the spoken word. It can be the written word. It's also definitely the body language, facial expressions. And then there's one big bomb she dropped that no one else that I have heard has ever mentioned. I'm sure they have, but maybe not. And that was your energy level. That all goes in to your communication, whether or not you are hitting the mark with the other person. And on that note, by the way, you're not going to hit that mark with every single person, even if you have all the right traits going.
That's right.
Sometimes you're just not a fit. That's okay. And then the third that I found that lifted up when you're talking, Didi, was the level of your passion. Be happy with what you're doing. Be at ease. Be excited about what you're doing, not just because the paycheck is coming in, but because it's truly what fulfills you, what fills your being, what makes you happy. It gets you to smile like Didi when she wakes up. I don't think I smile that quickly when I wake up. I'm thinking, I'm still trying to wake up, but I'm going to work on that one.
It's
because
smiling
of that.
inside.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and I have been in my adult life, I became a very positive person. I wasn't always positive. And man, it's so much more fun to be a positive person. Oh my gosh. I grew up in I wouldn't say a negative environment, but the attitudes and things that were present weren't always positive. Not saying anything bad about anyone in my family. I love everybody dearly, but that was just the influence that we had, and shook that over time. Took me many years, and finally broke through that ceiling. And I just love life. I love people. I love meeting people. I love talking to them. I love people like Didi Wong that have achieved success, who are so open and willing to she's opened up her closet of secrets to you. And you're probably thinking, that was no big deal. Those aren't secrets. Yeah, they are. If you put those all together in the way she said it, then you could achieve success. And here's the other thing. Yeah, you could put these together and achieve success, but do you know how to put them together? And if not, there is somebody who does right here. Her name is Didi Wong. And look, just start the conversation. I have no idea what investment would be required. I never asked, and it doesn't matter. Give her a call. Let her tell you what she can do and have a back and forth. Set up an appointment. See if it's a fit. If you don't call, if you don't connect, then, if you aim at nothing, you are sure to hit it, is the saying, right?
Love that. Love that. It's true.
Yeah, do yourself. I mean, this is a rarity where we have an individual. I shouldn't say it's a rarity, not on this show, but in life, it is a rarity, unfortunately, that a lot of people are out there are faking it till they make it. And, sometimes in the very beginning, you feel like you have to build yourself up. Well, Didi's built herself up. She has the acumen. She has the experience. She has the success. She has the failures as well that she's learned from to help you to reach that level of success much faster than it took her to do organically and through her evolutionary process of getting to where she is now as what she's doing today as an entrepreneur. Does that kind of sum it up there, Didi?
Absolutely. And yes, you may see me as the successful woman, and I talk about all these, I give you all these nuggets, but what's truly without me going through them myself and having spent so much money on, wasting time and wasting money on people who didn't help me and promised they would. And, it's really, when you find the right mentor, they already been through that, then you don't have to waste the money. They already wasted the money for you, if I say, right?
Exactly.
So I find that to be, I have a keynote called The Power of Mentorship, and truly my mentor has helped me so much. And I am so grateful every day to have found the right people to surround myself with and continuously to learn from. Yeah.
And that's another golden nugget, get a mentor, a coach. Hey, I promised everyone that if they stuck on to the end, because we're almost there, Didi, can you believe it? And there is another giveaway, I believe. Is that still true, Didi? Did you still have something? All right.
Yes, I do.
So we'll get to those in just a moment, so don't go anywhere. And remember, there's a 5-night stay at a 5-star luxury resort coming up. We're going to give that really, really soon. There's one final question I love to ask every guest that's been on this show, Didi, and it is an amazing question. And it's I found it to be very profound, somewhat personal at times, and very unique. And the answers have been unique and powerful from everyone. And I cannot wait to hear yours. But before we do that, yes, it's time for the giveaway. A 5-night stay at a 5-star luxury resort. So I'm going to put this up on the screen, and look, before I was saying, pay attention, take notes. For this moment in time, I think Didi would agree to give you permission to take out that cell phone of yours and open up your text messaging app. And here's why. I'll put it up on the screen. For those of you watching live, what you want to do is where you put in the name of the person you want to send that message to, instead type in this number 314-665-1767. Guest experts are allowed to enter too. 314-665-1767 as Didi reaches for her phone. I love it. And in the area where you would type in the message that goes out, so you're competing with Didi, but it's a random drawing. You type in peak dash vacation. That's PEAK dash vacation, all together, no spaces. And then once you text that, keep your phone handy, you will get a response asking for your email address. We use an automated system, and it will use your email address to announce the winner that it chooses randomly. So do that now. Write this down. If this is good until the end of tonight, till midnight on this evening. If you're watching live, you know what tonight is. I don't need to say the date. And then I can't wait to announce the winner. We'll announce the winner up on Facebook, and you'll get that 5-night stay. And this is an amazing, amazing giveaway, because it's not one of those things where I'm going to bring on the screen, Didi. It's not one of those things where you go there and they take you to the basement and, you know, browbeat you with a timeshare pitch for 4 hours. That's not what happens. It's a legitimate trip. The sponsor, the owner of the company who sponsors this, Jason Nast himself, has done it, has used this very thing 3 times and said it's been phenomenal. There's no hijinks of any kind. You just go and it's your room and you get to have a good time. So that's that. And then the amazing Didi has something for you. And I believe it was like a 4-week elevator pitch program or something to that effect. Is that true?
Yes, it is.
All right. Let's see if I have that up on the screen here. I do have it. I promise. It is, right? Yeah, right. There it is. I found it. So go ahead and let people know what that is real quick, Didi, and then we'll ask that incredible question of you to close out the show.
It's a really transformational 4 weeks. Every single person in this world, even if you don't have a business, but of course, especially if you do have a business, or you are somebody who has a service, or if you're an actor even, or singer, you have something to give to the world, you need to know how to pitch. And I'm not talking about just pitching to investors. I'm talking about whenever you get to open your mouth to introduce yourself to anybody, you should really learn how to do it in the right way and to be able to change it up depending on who you're speaking to. So I will give you a 4-week elevated pitch program that's worth $597. To the special winner today, you get my time every week, 1 hour each week, to really work on your elevator pitch. So there you go.
And how would that person enter to win? Just send you an email with a certain subject?
Yeah, simple. Once they win, and Didi@DidiWong.com, exactly, right there.
Cool. So it's Didi, DIDI, at DIDIWONG.com. Very straightforward. And again, look, it says valued at $597. It's probably 3, 4, 10 times that based on the results you're going.
I am very generous.
Yeah. And you know what? That's typically a 1 hour, not even that, of someone of her caliber, of her time. True. And you get 4 weeks. And so it's valued much higher than that. And so I want to say that just so that people understand and know to give Didi the respect she deserves when you reach out to her, and just be professional in your communication. Practice your communication skills by typing in something unique in the email, make you stand out, and she'll say, I want to work with you. And you utilize what you've learned from her tonight. Maybe mention the 3. Oh, how about that? Ooh. Mention the 3 key components to success. And I'll remind you what they are. These are mine. I thought these up, but they came from Didi. Emotion. So your emotion, evoking.
How you make them feel, emotion.
Yeah. Is more important, or just as, it's actually more important than the words you use. Communication, mastering that skill set, and being passionate about what you do, because that shines through. So yeah, maybe mention those 3 things in your email and try to impress her. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So what I like to do is get to that wonderful, amazing, incredible, and powerful question. It's a great one. And so, Didi, here's the thing. When I ask you this question, the really good news is there's no such thing as a wrong answer. It doesn't exist. In fact, the exact opposite. The only correct answer is yours. And that is the only thing that makes it personal.
It's just so much fun. Mystery.
Yeah. Kind of gets y'all like, what the heck is this going to be? So it's really intriguing. And well, why don't we just do it? Are you ready?
Yes, I am ready.
Here we go. Didi Wong, how do you define success?
I said it earlier. I said it. It's about time freedom. My definition of success is when you don't have to ask permission with anybody in your life to do whatever you want, with whomever you want, whenever you want. And if you find that you can do that and not have to worry about money to do whatever you want with whomever you want, wherever you want, then that's my definition of absolute success, the freedom of time and doing whatever I want, whenever I want, with whomever I want. There you go. Simple.
Yes. Fantastic. Didi Wong, thank you so very much. What a phenomenal show. You brought everything you had, both barrels blazing, I like to say. And appreciate you big time. And thanks everyone for coming on to watch this show.
Thank you. Yes, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah, your time is so valuable, as is ours. So I like to respect everyone's time, especially Didi, who put up with all of these emails and hoops to jump through to prepare for the show. But here's the result. You know, an amazing woman, an amazing show because of her, and because she put in the time and effort that was requested of her. So appreciative of you, Didi, for just sticking with it. And a little hint, the automation isn't 100% done yet. You'll get another email tomorrow, but I'll tell you about that after. Just when you thought it was over.
Stop blocking your emails.
You won't want to. These are friendly. These are friendly.
Okay, good.
They're all friendly. They're all friendly.
No, I gotta say, if I can say that quickly on the show, seriously, I've been on hundreds of podcasts and shows like this. Nobody has been more organized than Brian. Seriously, your automation, it's fantastic. So that carpet bomb thing, marketing.com thing that you said earlier, if you guys want to do this, I would totally invest in hiring you to help me if I wanted to be a podcaster, for sure.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that feedback.
There you go. Testimonial right there.
Yeah. And it can start with that $100 bill behind you on your wall, and we'll go from there. So you've been so wonderful, Didi. I've had such a great time. I'm sure all of our viewers and listeners have as well. But it's time to do that thing that I don't like to do, but that is to say goodbye. It's only temporary. But on behalf of this amazing, amazing young woman, Didi Wong, I am your host, Brian Kelly of the Mind Body Business Show. That's it for tonight. We'll see you again on the next episode coming up very, very soon. Until then, so long and be blessed. Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to the Mind Body Business Show podcast at www.themindbodybusinessshow.com. My name is Brian Kelly.